Hi, this is take 3. I keep getting my name wrong. I mean, who does that? So let's try again. Hi everyone, this is Rev'd Chantal Noppen, vicar in the parish of North Wearside in Sunderland, England. It's good to share with you just a few thoughts this week, quite a short one. A reflection for Easter 3. And the readings I'm making reference to are those from the lectionary. We've got Acts 2, 14a, 36 to 41, and then Luke 24, 13 to 35. You might recognise that one of those I also mentioned last week. So the title of today's reflection is Solar-Powered Pilgrim. Now, perhaps unsurprisingly, not least due to the recurrence of the Emmaus passage as this week's Gospel, I found that I've been reflecting a lot this week on pilgrimage and journeys. This year, in the Diocese of Durham, it was meant to be a year of pilgrimage. And I'm not sure that staying at home and keeping a distance from folk was intended to be a part of that. Traditionally, of course, pilgrimages are about travelling from one place to another, sometimes to a specific special destination. And while they can be about the journey as much, if not more, than the destination, the transition between, that there is a transition, is quite crucial. So I've been thinking quite a lot about that. How do we go on pilgrimage at home? Can we? Is it a thing? What does it mean to be then a pilgrim right now, at this time, in each of our individual situations, and then also as a collective? I am aware of the concept of pilgrimages of the mind, and I guess is this that? Maybe. Now, I believe as Christians, as humans, we are continually evolving and adapting as we learn and we reflect on how we're living, as we're striving to grow closer to God, to grow in our faith, and to be better as people, parents, friends, neighbours, basically decent folk who exist in the world alongside others and are wanting to do well by them. I think in this way we are all, perhaps always, pilgrims. We're always learning, we're always changing, we're always moving. There's always a transition going from one to the other. Because even if we think we're doing nothing, we're never doing nothing. And nothing is always exactly the same, because time marches on. And a few weeks ago, I bought some solar-powered paw print lights for my garden. They're pretty cool. They look quite amusing and nice in the daylight, just sitting there, just not clearly doing anything particularly radical. But in the dark, they really come to life. The light and energy that they've absorbed during the daytime gets put to good use and makes something beautiful. So I found myself wondering, are we being solar-powered pilgrims? I wonder if perhaps some of us are feeling like we're doing nothing or not enough, or that everything has ground to a halt around us, or we're just swimming to keep still. I don't know. I think there's a lot of angst. There's a lot of worry, anxiety. What next? Where go? What are we doing? What's happening? How do we fit in? But I suspect that for each of us, we're actually doing a lot more than we realise. That's why we're so tired. And there will be more happening in us, with us, around us, than is immediately obvious. It might just be a little bit hidden right now. So like the solar-powered paw prints, what we are taking in right now is going to be turned into more down the line. It is going to shape what we do later, who we are, and it will affect our context, our surroundings, our community. So maybe ask yourself, what is shifting in you? How is your understanding of yourself, of what you need and what you value in life being brought into focus? Because I bet it is. How are you connecting with God right now And how is your faith being transformed? And then ideally, make a note of that. Write it down. Record it somehow. Even better, send me that thought. Send me a text message. Let me know. How are you connecting with God? I'd really like to know that. And now you might think that you're just one person and that your presence and what you're up to is a little bit insignificant in the grand scheme of things and that you're nothing special. But we're all special. And I do believe that we are all capable of shining and sharing our faith in the darkness with others. And when we do, it's a beautiful thing. It doesn't need to be fancy. It just needs to be real. You just have to be you. And don't forget, the beauty in us is usually seen best by others, not ourselves. It's not uncommon for pilgrims to find that their journey, their pilgrimage, brings with it plenty of challenge, times of wilderness, of doubt, of isolation, sometimes pain, be it physical or spiritual, as we process, as we work through things. But there is always beauty in the journey, even if sometimes that's bittersweet or found best in hindsight. There is always good and there is always God. And God is always good. I also think that we find it's usually through the support and encouragement of others that we're able to make our journeys, to complete our pilgrimages, to get to our destination. And that's where the fun on the journey comes from often. So maybe take a moment to look around you for those who are helping you along the way and give thanks to them. Literally to them. Thank them. Let them know. And thank God for them. And maybe look for extra opportunities to do likewise to help others. But also trust that you may already be lighting the way for others by the way that you are learning, living, and loving, or at least trying to. The story of Emmaus reminds us that we can take, as I said last week, all the time we need to get where we need to go. But then it's not meant to leave us unchanged. The deep joy in the discovery of the point is meant to be shared. It's meant to be shone. The Acts reading makes it really clear that Peter expects the knowledge of Christ and understanding of what was done on the cross for us to leave a lasting, fundamental change on our lives in us. And that hope and joy we get from believing is meant to be so deeply affecting that it cannot but be contagious. In a time of a pandemic, how about making our joy contagious, our hope contagious, our faith contagious? I wonder if this pandemic could be a bit similar. Perhaps this time could be understood to be a time of pilgrimage for us, albeit in an unseen, unplanned, unexpected way. A journey of discovery and exploration of who we are and who we might be. And that what we learn through this time will then help us to light our future and better understand our direction, our faith, and who God would have us to be. So together, let's look for ways to be light in the darkness and so share our joy with the world. Amen. Stay safe, take care, keep in touch.